What's going on, family? You are now listening to the first official Fitness Headspace podcast episode, hosted by none other myself, Deion Avril, aka Mr. Get Fit Don't Quit with Evolve Fitness. Now, today is a very, very special day. Like I said, this is the first episode, so I want to genuinely thank you all for just coming out here, tapping in to listen, seeing what's going on. Now, what I really want to do is just paint a clear picture for everybody what we're going to be focusing on, okay? So, shout out to my homegirl Katie for this. This is what we're focusing on, okay? We want to focus on promoting awareness, invite people to think beyond the surface, and challenge their thoughts and beliefs. Is what you really believe your own belief, or is it something that you've learned through your environment, culture, and others? We getting deep and we getting stuck in it. Now, again, this is going to be fitness along with psychology, okay? So this is what you're hearing right now. It's going to be best of both worlds because, again, a lot of people don't think about how the psychology really plays into effect of the fitness aspect and being able to achieve and reach those goals and sustain them and create that new lifestyle that you're looking for, right? So that's what we're going to be focusing on per episode. You guys are more than welcome to give us any suggestions as well, too. We'd be more than happy to take them and also break those down and dissect them and give you guys our insight on certain things as well, too, to give you advice, right? Now, in no means no way are we doctors. Again, we're going to give you guys our personal advice through our experience. If there's anything we say, I would always say double check, triple check. Always do your own due diligence. And with that being said, always consult with a doctor, okay? We're not trying to get sued is all we're saying. Now, with that being said, we're going to be uploading once a week as of right now. Okay, so the day is either going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. It just really depends right now what works best. So again, we're going to give you an official date as far as upcoming week, but I'm trying to keep it to Wednesdays. Wednesdays, they'll pop up. You guys are going to see them. I like Wednesday. It's like midpoint of the week. I think that's when some people slack off and we're like, man, Thursday's coming. But, you just need that extra little push from time to time, and just in the middle of the week, getting that little bump, it'll get you all the way through to the weekend so you can recover and rest, right? So again, once a week as of right now. And again, from there, we'll continue. If you guys like what you're hearing, then we'll put some more stuff together. So I got a couple of topics already that I have to the side that I want to focus on. But if we don't set any goals, there's no way to create a plan to achieve your goals, right? So I just came out with a video that I dropped on TikTok recently. And, the 3 steps was plan it, do the setup, and then execute, right? So that's with all things in life when it comes to you wanting to better yourself. There's times where we just kind of go with the flow and see how things work. But to have a clear, detailed picture as far as where you want to be and being able to visualize what life is going to be at that point once you reach that goal. It's a whole different feeling. Like, you get a rush of endorphins. You just get that feeling like, man, this feels amazing. So this is what's going to get you, that kind of like that, just that small little thing in the back of your head, just in case sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do that right now. Just always remembering like, okay, this is what it's going to be at the end. Not even necessarily at the end. Once I reach my goal technically. And then from there, as we continuously move forward to maintain, always have that in the back of your head. So again, very, very important. So make sure that we're setting realistic goals. That's another thing as well, too, because we get caught up with, all right, not to sound, rude or disrespectful, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys, okay? We're going to keep it 100 on here. And, we get caught up in the new year, new me. Right? That's it's kind of like a fad diet where somebody comes out with something and says, yeah, oh my God, like, 1 gallon of milk a day or 1 meal a day. The OMAD diet has been a big thing too, which you can do, but you know what I mean? It's just, is it realistic for your lifestyle based on what you're doing? Right? So again, making sure that you have an understanding that you want this to be something that you're doing and you want to make sure you sustain it. Okay. So the reason why I bring it up as far as saying like, the whole new year, new me is because I used to work in a big box gym at a particular one. And it gives you the perspective of being able to see from, I guess, like the employee side of like, wow, this is crazy. Like this is really the flow. Like literally what ends up happening is you have people coming in January, like late after, literally it's like it's I'm laughing because it's usually right after Thanksgiving, right? And Black Friday, and they were stuffed and whatnot. So now they want to start coming in, and they'll roll over into the new year, new me, which again, I don't take anything away from anybody. I give you the utmost props for being able to make the first step and initiate the necessary steps to come into the gym, because it's really not that easy for some people. When I used to do what's called a new member orientation, we used to walk people around and show people things and like, hey, what exactly is it that you want to accomplish? And people used to always tell me, and I'm sure people are going to agree with me as well too. I want to get rid of this stomach fat. I've had a I've had a couple ladies tell me they call the arm, call it their bat wings, bra fat. So these are most common areas, and ladies wanting to work on glutes and legs. Guys primarily usually want to work on upper body, primarily arms, chest is usually what I hear the most, and their abdominals as well too. So with that being said, people come in with an idea of what they want to do, right? Now, the one thing that I want to make sure you guys understand, that there is no such thing as spot reduction or spot targeting. So what's happening is as a coach is putting together a program for you, trainer, as well too, what ends up happening is that we're taking into consideration of a couple of different things, right? And now this is the trainer portion of me speaking. So I'm trying to understand what exactly brings you in, what goals you have in mind, and your lifestyle. So now I have to be mindful of any additional health concerns that you might have. So, for example, medical wise, saying like, hey, do you have any issues as far as like joints, heart issues, high blood pressure, medical history from your family? Like, these are small things that I need to understand. So, as we're programming things, we're not doing things that are too strenuous, or doing things that will actually cause, whatever the issue is to become worse. So, we're supposed to be preventing that and helping you get stronger, right? I mean, I would hope that would be the point of it. When people just come and say, hey, I just want to do X, Y, and Z, I'm like, okay, we can incorporate that definitely. But, you know, the analogy that we use is like, okay, perfect. I want to work on my upper pecs, right? There's absolutely no way for me to go get, and I love Thai food, so I can't go get some masaman chicken or Penang curry or whatever the case is and say, all right, go straight to the upper chest. Let's get this. We're trying to get a pancake thick chest. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work that way. So I have to, explain it that way so people are like, oh, okay, cool. But what we can do is still have certain sessions that are more chest focused. So you don't necessarily have to worry about not being able to get a bigger chest. In that case, what will end up happening is it's like, all right, cool. So we work on chest first. We focus on heavy chest at the beginning of the week, so we can prioritize that and make sure that that's the body part we want to bring up. So there's always going to be something that has to be put on the back burner when we do that. So again, it's always going to be a thing where it's a work in progress, right? Everything takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and your ideal physique won't be either. So another perspective to think about it in is, you have somebody that's been saying like, man, I've been dealing with a lot of weight. I don't like how I feel, and I'm just ready to get this thing off. It's a battle. It's a whole separate battle internally. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the whole psychology comes. It's like, man, I want to, but I don't. And every time I start it, So being able, to come in and say, all right, this is what I want to do, and be focused on it, it's going to be done. But the question I always ask people is, how long have you been dealing with the weight that you don't like? 5, 6 years. Cool. So it took 5 to 6 years for you to put on, over time, that weight. So you just got to realize that we're going to take at least a minimum of a year to make a significant transformation, right? So I don't want to call this a rule of thumb, but one thing that I've seen within my experience of working with people, and primarily myself, that I've seen it through pictures, is the first month you'll notice some change on the scale, right? You got things like water fluctuation going on, whatever, environmental aspects like stress, cortisol, et cetera, et cetera. And then from there, your second month is when you start to see a little bit more progression. You're like, okay, cool. Depending on your genetics and how your body is set up, because it's so complicated, your body fat will pull from different places. So like for me, genetically, my back is the one place where I usually don't hold a lot of fat once I start dropping weight, right? So my love handles go away first, like my spinal erectors, like my lower back, it's just like it be popping, right? Now, for me, my legs is the last place it leaves, right? I'd prefer my stomach because I'm looking at my legs, they still look like tree trunks. I'm like, damn, like okay, well, I guess I'm doing what I need to do, but I just have to give it more time, right? So what I'm saying is that as easily as you are going to put it on, it's going to be a little bit harder to take it off, especially that last few, whatever you want to take off. So with that being said, again, it's tying back into, again, no spot reduction. You need to make sure that you have a plan in place to make sure that you are prioritizing whatever your goals are as far as, physique wise, but also habitual wise. And what I mean by that is we need to make sure we have healthy habits. And the reason why that's so important is because of the fact of a lot of people will tell me, all right, yeah, I go to the gym, I do this, I do that. But it's just like, okay, well, how's your eating? Oh, my eating is not, where it needs to be. Okay. Do you feel like you making those adjustments with your eating would help you reach your goals more effectively? Yeah? All right, cool. So are we willing to make that change starting today? All right. Because my thing is I asked that question and I'm rhetorically answering back because these are things that we don't think about, and it's the way that somebody says something to you, right? It's not what they say, it's how they say it. So, again, as far as your habits, you have to make sure that you have everything in place. And habitually, you want to make sure that you're eating, at a scheduled time if you can. Because the thing is it gives you less slack as far as falling off the bandwagon and giving it yourself an excuse of why you didn't eat well. Or, okay, well, I missed one meal. F it. I'm just going to rock out the whole rest of the day. I don't even give a, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not cool. So my thing is at the end of the day, what you really want to focus on is creating healthy habits, okay? Whether that's creating a schedule for yourself, which I highly recommend, of everything you do Monday through Friday, or Sunday through Saturday, technically, from the time you get up till the time you go to sleep, so you have a clear understanding of what time you have to do what. Because again, one of the main issues that people have as far as creating a healthy habit for nutrition is that they always give me the I don't have time, right? Well, to be fit, to be frank with you guys, we usually don't ever have time to do anything. We have to make the time. Yeah. So remember, you have to, first and foremost, your priority really, if you have children, is going to be your kids, but your job as well too. And everything else around it is just kind of more so there. You know what I mean? So for example, you make time to go grocery shopping. You make time to go, watch Netflix. You make time to go to the movies. You make time to go out with your friends. Make time for yourself. Stop making time for other people. It's time that you focus on you, right? And it's okay to, express that to people as far as like, hey, I just want to let you guys know, when this hour comes through and at this time in particular, if I don't answer my phone, or I won't be answering my phone because this is my me time. Don't feel guilty because you have a friend that wanted to go out, whatever, and because you're at the gym, they feel like you're abandoning them. I don't care about none of that. Because at the end of the day, you have to learn how to be self-full, because it's not selfish, if that makes sense, right? So again, make time, okay? So there was times where I actually had to have a company take all my groceries and bring them to the house. So like a delivery service, kind of like what Instacart does. And it was convenient for me at the time. And I know not everybody has this opportunity, but I would time it right, have them bring it. When they tell me that they're about 10 minutes away, I drive to the house, kick it in the house, grab the stuff, throw them in the fridge, and go straight back to work. And that's what worked for me. The last thing that I really want to touch base on the psychology portion is your self-awareness. And I really want everybody to think about what that means, right? What's your perspective on what the definition of self-awareness is? Okay. I'm going to give y'all a second. Now, here's my thing. With self-awareness, there's a couple of different things, like aspects you got to think about, right? Their conscious knowledge of their character is what the New Oxford American Dictionary says, okay? Feelings, motives, and desires. So This is the actual from the dictionary what it means. And the ones that I really want to hone in on is your desires and your feelings, because nobody knows yourself better than you do, right? And the main way that your coach will be able to help you achieve your goal is helping them understand how you feel. What is it going to take to get there? How are you going to feel when you get there? How are things going to change because you've achieved your goals, right? These are things that, as a coach myself, I want to know. This is the way that, one, we build that rapport, but also I just want you to know, me ask you these questions, how serious I am about helping you and working together as a team to help us achieve your goals. Technically, it's our goals, but technically it's yours. You know what I mean? Um, but again, as an individual, do you know what your own character is? Do you know your characteristics? Do you know your ins and outs? Knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses are really important. And knowing when you're getting, just being self-aware, like literally being conscious of everything around you and how you feel in the moment while you're working out, when you're not working out. And at this point in time, I think is the most important. The most important, if you're not in the gym as of right now and you're listening to this, is to just think about what are your motives, right? Because if you genuinely want to make a change, I want you to ask yourself one question. Why? Why do you genuinely want to make this change in your life today, right? Because you could have done it last year, and you've tried it last year, and you tried it the year before that, but you said this year is for sure the year that you're going to this is the year for you. Help me understand why. That's what your coach should be asking you. Because again, we really have to understand your real reason, your emotional reason behind it, right? That's the only way that I can genuinely help you. Because if we just say, hey, I just want to lose fat, all right, cool, we could do that too. But at the end of the day, my thing is that I want to make sure that the reason why you want to burn this fat will be a reason why you'll continuously burn fat and not put it back on. So it's not like a vacation type of situation. And that happens a lot. And again, it's nothing wrong with it. I love helping people like that. But my thing is if they're going to continue working with me, I like to be black and white with them and let them know that, hey, is this something that, you want to do for now and just go back to normal? Or is this something you want to do and continuously, keep it and maintain it as far as once you hit your goal? I think that's more important. So instead of doing like the whole like yo-yo thing, keep it in place. Walk the dog and keep walking it. Keep it there. Slow, steady paced. You know your body more than anybody does. Listen to yourself. Communicate with your coach. And this is how we help each other. Towards the end of the the program, the podcast, what I really want to do is give you guys some tips. So the main one, of course, I jumped the gun a little bit early because I was so passionate about what I was getting into, and I didn't tell you guys that I'm giving you guys tips. The first one was, what's your why? You really want to understand your why for yourself. So when you do sit down with your coach, they'll have a better understanding of why you want to do this and what's going to be the plan to help you reach that goal. The second thing, technically it's two. The second and third thing is part one, what are your goals and what drives you to reach your goals? So once you figure out that why, you're going to figure out some goals, or you could do it vice versa. You could figure out your goals and then figure out why you want to reach that goal and what's driving you to reach that goal. So you could kind of flip-flop them. Now, the next thing that I want you all to do is create a list of your goals. I can't state how many times people have some phenomenal ideals and literally just never document them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really important because, again, I tell people, plan it, set it up, and execute it. If you have a starting point, it makes life so much easier. So create a list and list what you want to do. And you can do it from, let's say, a month basis, quarterly, annually, every 6 months, however you want to do it. And I think it actually makes more sense to do all of them. So you have like this huge, like a success board, and understanding where you want to go and what it's going to take to get there. And also seeing those achievements, right? You hitting those milestones and those stepping stones, say, all right, cool. I just lost 5 pounds. Bam. I hit my goal weight before I went on vacation. Bam. I came back. I got another 20 to lose. And now I'm looking good for my birthday. Oh, snap now. So this is what we really want to focus on. Now, if there's enough requests, I definitely want to start giving out like, small little cheat sheets, like healthy habits, based on our topics and whatnot. So I'll be more than happy to do that if you guys want to go ahead and just let me know in the comments how you feel about it. And other than that, like I said, these episodes are going to be phenomenal just because of the fact of we got an open platform to speak about whatever we want to speak about. And again, this is just a one-way perspective. Again, by no means am I 100% accurate on anything, because nobody is. And the main thing that I just want you guys to do is take some things away. Anything that you feel is like really hits home, take those pieces away. It might not be this, the whole thing that I've spoken about. Take the pieces that make the most sense for you in your current journey and apply. Now, if you all ever have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, okay? So Instagram DM, you can reach out to me on TikTok. Take a look at some of those videos that are going to be coming out very soon. And then I'm also going to be on YouTube. So I'm going to be back on my YouTube-ish. We're going to be dropping the podcast on there for right now as a platform. On top of that, I'll be on Facebook as well. So again, you guys can DM me on IG if you got any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. But please share, follow, like, and sub to the page if you're on the YouTube page. A lot of the stuff that I've been putting on there was kind of like just to show consistency and just to have, basically numbers as far as videos up, because, things are getting crazy with the analytics and how they run things. But with that being said, it was definitely a pleasure tapping in with you guys today. I feel like we got some really good information that was presented to you. And like I said, take it and apply it, with your discretion. And with that being said, we out.